All right, we should be streaming now. Welcome everybody to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. I'm your host this evening, Charles Carter, and with me right now I have Gary Sinclair and I have Keith Trossel. And we just posted the link a few minutes ago, so I expect others will join us. This is on me. You fix this. There we go. I forgot to do that. I usually take care of that. Anyways, let me get to the control panel and let me see how it's streaming. Obviously, it's streaming. That was a good tell right there. And let me see here. YouTube Studio. Just give me another moment here. I usually have this done before you guys come in. So let me see here. All righty, another click or two. So has anybody, I know your household's been pretty busy with taking care of Barbara, but you haven't done any flying or building by chance, Keith?
No flying, except finally had some decent weather today and day before yesterday. It was really nice. First decent weather we've had here, I think, for about 5 months. Look forward to maybe going out maybe later this week. And one of the guys here in the area is not able to fly anymore, and he's getting rid of all of his junk, and we'll see what he's got out of the field Sunday.
Just 1 second. This is the first time this has happened to me in a long time, and somehow it is private, so it's not public. I got to fix that. So that was a false alarm. I don't know if there's another way I can fix it so that it's be public. Right now, it's not streaming live. Well, it sure did sound like it, didn't it, earlier? It says private, though. I don't see how. I don't know how to, let me just I'm going to set the stream again, but we're fine. I'm just going to close the stream and reset it up. I don't know why it's not streaming publicly. I guess I was due for a start like this. Let's see, how do I end this stream here? Oh, I'm actually not even on the right channel. Okay, so that, now I see what's going on. I think. Oh. Let me sign out. Oh boy, making it a little bit worse. Let's see here. Sign in. Okay. All right, 1 second here.
Well, don't ask me to help because I know nothing about it.
Me neither.
All right, I want to ask you guys to help me out. Now let's see here. Oh man. Oh, come on. It's not liking. Let's try this. I gotta go in there. Secure password. All right.
I run on a video or a picture, I guess it was a picture of Keith when he was younger.
You did? Oh, cool. Yeah.
You mean that thing is on the AMA website?
Might been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was only, what, 53 years ago. Well, I lied, not quite 53 years ago.
Okay, looks like we are streaming. Okay, great. Let me
All right.
boy, that's
See if I can get you a like.
thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Okay. Oh man.
How
So
do
we're
you do
almost there.
like?
Hey Mark, how you doing, Mark?
Good, Charles. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just things just went sideways on me on this starting this stream, but I'll get together. Just give me a second here. I got some people earlier. I guess I was due for a night like this, but hopefully this is the worst it will be, and it will just get better and better. So let me see here. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, you want to show us your Bearcat tonight?
Well, I can. I showed it last week. You weren't.
Well,
You
I
weren't.
didn't get to see it. I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'll show you
Now
my new wing, basic wing for a big job. So you show me yours, I show you mine.
All right.
you should be able to share. So
Let me pull the pictures up, Charles.
okay. All right. Well, while you do that, let me just kind of get started here. Looks like I'm streaming. Obviously, I am. And let me know if the audio is okay. I see Tom Ramos in the chat box first. He provided us a like. Dennis Adamison was second. He's one of our members as well. I can tell by the moniker next to his name. He provided us a like. And then Old Control Line Pilot, that's Bob Whitley up in Canada. He says, like given, see you Friday. All right, look forward to that. And Jeff Riley, I haven't seen you in a while, Jeff. And he sent us a like. Thank you, Jeff. And Gary Sinclair, he's also a member of our YouTube channel. And also is Bob Whitley. He's also a member of our channel. And Gary Sinclair is a member, and he's the monitor on the chat box. He's that blue wrench. And Jeff Riley says, sound is good. Thank you. I appreciate it. So we have 12 concurrent viewers right now, 9 likes. Thank you very much. And obviously we're streaming. And sorry for the delay. Just had some things that did not work the way I wanted to work, and my computer's a little bit weird. So, but everything is set up the way I like it, so we can start cooking with gas. Hopefully, when Mark Gerber has his picture up, he can share an image of his Bearcat. And Dennis Adamison is here.
Yeah, he's
Thank
here.
you for coming in, Dennis. Stuart Morrison is here. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Howdy.
Yeah.
So did you find your picture, Mark?
Yeah, let me try to share the screen here.
All right. And Jeff Riley says, did I miss the April contest at Whittier? No, I'm glad you mentioned that. It's going to be April 29th. That should be a Saturday, Jeff. I look forward to seeing you there.
Can you see that, Charles?
Yeah, I see a folder of your Bearcat. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, this is what it looked like a few weeks ago. See if I can, yeah.
Nice.
After I sprayed the white on it, and I went on a scan for a week and let the white dry really well. Or cure, actually, because it's epoxy. And then I put on all the stencils I had, or the masks that I got made. And I taped up the cockpit, got the canopy permanently attached. And this is what it looked like before I started with all the color. This is what it looked like. And that's after I put the blue on it and took the masks off. So
Wow, that looks good.
that's what it looks like right now, Keith. So
That's impressive.
That's fantastic.
I'm really anxious to see this thing for real.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I absolutely love that masking you were able to do, and basically, you're one color deep in a lot of areas there, and I like that. And then taking advantage of the dark blue to, the way you did, you only had to spray white in, in known areas, and
Right.
you just finish it right off. That's
That
just
dark color
fantastic.
covers up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding my breath
Yeah.
to see what it's going to weigh when I get all done, but I'm getting close.
Now your control surfaces are already all painted.
No, that's what I'm working on right now is getting the flaps painted and ready to put in and the stabilizers, and the rudder's pretty well done and painted. So
What kind of
Terrific.
paint? What kind of paint is it?
it's all class coat.
That's good.
It's going to be
The
nice
white-
and durable too.
Yeah, the white is class coat.
Yeah, everything is the
Everything.
primer and the white and the blue and the red,
Yeah.
and the clear out coat on top is going to be class coat as well. So
Is your clear class coat, is that really clear?
well, it looks pretty clear. Everybody says it yellows with time. We'll see.
Well, it yellows in the can, but once you have it, if it's clear, when you spray it on, it's going to stay that way.
Now what I have is pretty fresh, so
Okay. Then I don't think you have a problem.
well, I don't have a lot of white on the airplane, and
Mm-hmm.
the real insignia white wasn't really white anyway.
Well, it looks pretty white there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
is
does.
now.
It looks great.
That's going to look so good when it's in the air.
Yeah.
That's something else.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the really big graphics and stuff. I didn't know that there was Navy schemes that included that, but that really breaks up the dark blue.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah, I
that's
agree totally.
fabulous.
It
Yeah.
just really pops out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mark,
How
what
you been,
size
Dennis?
spinner are you going to put on there?
What's that, Charles?
What size spinner are you going to put on there?
No spinner.
No spinner. Okay.
Just got a big prop nut,
Bearcat never had a spinner.
Mm-hmm.
except when they raced it.
Yeah. It's funny, some of the prototype airplanes, I've seen pictures of a prototype Hellcat had a spinner on it, and
Yeah.
by the time they make production, the spinner disappears. It's just not worth the bother. So
Hey, Gary, did you said that the numbers and letters did they come with the kit, or did you make them?
What kit?
Well, I don't know if you did. Okay, you did it from scratch then. Okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure. Okay. Yeah.
I made a
Good.
computer file, and here it is.
Okay.
This is a PDF of it, and took it to a local sign shop. And I was amazed, but they were able to work with the PDF and charged me $47 for the whole set. Here they are.
yeah, that's a lot of cutting on that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, once I get it in the computer, it just runs right off the cutter. But
Mm-hmm. How about the masking material itself? Was it just vinyl, or what was it?
yeah, it's a vinyl. It's much like the vinyl if you were gonna do vinyl lettering,
Uh-huh. Okay.
except it's not all that tacky.
Mm-hmm.
It's tacky enough to stick onto the plane.
Did you have to specify that or ask for that?
No,
special?
I just told them I wanted masks,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they knew right away what to do. So
You have any trouble positioning it, or were you able to put like Windex or something like that on the surface to slide the stuff around?
no, what I did was I made little marks on the top layer here with a pencil,
Yeah,
about half an inch up and half an inch out. And then I went onto the airplane and I figured out, where those points were going to be. And I put little pieces of tape down there. So when I peeled the top layer off of this, it had those marks on it and it had the marks underneath. And then I, carefully laid that onto the plane so that the reference marks matched up with the tape. and no Windex required. So it worked out pretty well.
Okay.
Oh, and then you position the mask for the interior part of the bees. That's kind of tricky, wasn't
What's that?
it? Getting the bees masked off the center part, is that kind of tricky to position those, or how? You just
No,
did it by
because
eyeball?
the transfer material that's on top here
Oh,
takes the whole vinyl piece with it.
okay, and
So
so,
even if you have multiple pieces, you just lay it all down.
and then all stays stuck together.
Yeah, so I put the CB on as one thing and 133 as another.
Okay,
Put the insignias on, each is a complete insignia.
I think that's the beauty of the way you masked it too, is that you could put a complete letter on because you were just block masking the white underneath it. So you didn't have to install the centers on the letters or anything like that.
Yeah, so here's what it looks like after you get them on.
yeah, the
Yeah.
navy, that all just went on as one piece, right?
Yeah. So like the Navy, just that was one whole piece. And I put a little mark on the Y and a little mark near the end, and little pieces of tape there once I figured out. Since I had this all in CAD, I could get on my CAD system and I could get all the dimensions I wanted for each piece I had to place.
And doesn't look like you had any issues with the paint, either bleeding under or for some reason not breaking clear, or, it looks like you got nice sharp edges and stuff. So,
Yeah, the vinyl is really good masking material. Sticks done really well. I had one place, I guess on the other side, on the top,
of course.
Of course.
right here, where I screwed up on this placement of this one, and accidentally got it stuck on another piece of material over on the workbench, and I carefully peeled it off. But when I did, this thing got a little wrinkled here, and there was one area that wouldn't hold down. So I took a little clear and I coated it along the edge there where the problem was, and it came out fine. You can see
Okay.
it's
Looks pretty crisp.
Looks
Mhm.
good.
How much of an edge do you have now with the blue over the white?
You mean vertical?
Yeah,
Yeah, paint edge. Yeah.
It's about like what you get with dope, I think.
yeah.
And before I came up here, I was just wet sanding some of this to knock it all down.
What grade of sandpaper?
1,000.
Okay,
And
yeah.
that's what I'm doing now is I've some overspray and some other places on it. And I want to get that knocked down. And then I'll put some clear coats on it. And
When you sand, you have to be careful going from the dark to the white, or you just try to avoid crossing over.
well, about a week and a half ago or so, I did a little bit of sanding. I had some blue getting into the white. It was actually back here on these little numbers under the stabilizer. So I kind of backed off, and then I found out, much to my surprise, and that I could use this. What's that solvent called that you use for rubber cement?
No.
Gone,
What'd you say, Keith?
goo gone?
No, it's the real thin solvent that you can't get anymore
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that helps.
that you use for rubber cement
Okay,
or any other adhesive. So I discovered if I put that on a Q-tip, I could rub the blue right off of the white, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't dissolve the epoxy at all.
yeah.
So I cleaned it up with that.
Well,
The
that
mineral
epoxy's
spirits
pretty
you did?
impervious
What's
to
that?
almost anything, I think.
What's that?
The epoxy, I think, is impervious to almost anything.
Yeah, now the white's been on there like 3 weeks at least, and the dark blue's been on like a week and 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
and it's it's really hard. So
Do you have to dull up the whole finish before you clear coat it?
you don't have to, but like I said, I've got some overspray in some places, and you got the ridges where the masking was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of going over it with 1,000 grade sandpaper real lightly.
And what are you gonna do with the canopy? Dull that first?
Well, I haven't decided yet. I've got, little ridges around the edges here, but it came out pretty good and clear. So I kind of hate to sand it, but maybe I will.
Well, ridges
ever
around
done-
the
have you ever-
edges.
Have you ever done that before? Sand the canopy before you clear coat?
Yeah, I had to do that on my P40 because I
Okay.
couldn't get the dope to stick to the
Yeah,
clear stuff. But this epoxy sticks really well on this canopy.
yeah.
I tested it on a sample canopy, and you can't hardly scratch it off. And I didn't do any, sanding or anything before I put it on.
I wonder if you dusted over the white with some clear coat first and then sanded it, but not too heavily, you might get a better finish without mixing the blue in with the white.
Well, right now it's all hard and it's not mixing at all. So
Okay,
not an issue at the moment,
all right,
Yeah.
okay.
but I'm kind of
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah, but taking what Jonathan just said, and welcome, Jonathan. Didn't see you come in there. If
Yeah.
you did that, I wonder if you could like bring the level of the white up even with the blue and basically eliminate the paint step. You know what I mean? You'd almost have to backmask it if you're going to, really attack it. But I think even if you, of course, this is the guy that uses Monaco too. I shouldn't say a darn thing, but
I think his coat of class coat clear, he's working down the edges now with his 1,000 wet paper. Coated class coat clear will almost do away with any edge at all.
okay.
Yeah, I think if you probably took a light and you looked real carefully, you could maybe see a little bit of an edge when you're all done, but I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Looks very nice.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Yeah.
It does.
That's
I just
good,
like
yeah.
the idea, an epoxy finish is just so durable and everything like that. It's just, that thing is just completely nice, sealed up, and that's going to last a long time, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tricky to work with. You got to mix it and wait a half an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can spray it. And then you have to wait, a day or two till it really starts to harden before you can handle it too much.
Mm-hmm.
And once it cures, it's cured. So you don't want to leave it in your spray gun or your airbrush, or you ruin them real quickly. So you have to go to a lot of trouble to clean that out. But like you said, you get a really nice finish when you're all done. So
Mm-hmm.
Let me interrupt real quick. Let me just welcome Bob Gore. Thanks for coming in, Bob. And thank you, Jonathan Carradas, for coming in. And Mark Wise, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And we have a little bit of chatter in the chat box. Minnesota Mike is here. He says they have combat contests coming up at the Peg Field. And I'm not sure what field he's talking about. And then Jeff Riley says April 29th. Cool. I'll finish the landing gear for you. Well, that'd be great, Jeff Riley. That'd be awesome. So now we're all caught up. We have 24 concurrent viewers, 16 likes. Please consider joining our YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is like 17 cents a day, like buying a cup of coffee at Starbucks just once a month. And then we have the super chat over here at the chat box, which is only available during a live stream. So if you want to come in now and make a donation and come back and watch the replay of the show at a more convenient time, that works for some people. Anyways, we are back.
let me stop sharing here unless anybody has any more questions about the Bearcat. And Keith walked away, so we'll have to wait till he comes back so he can show us his big job. Oh, there he comes.
What do you got there?
There he
What is
goes.
Yeah,
There we go.
new big job wing.
A new big job wing. All right.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Oh, it looks good.
And
does.
yes, it's already straighter than the last one was, so. I had a
Terrific.
problem with the trailing edges before. These are coming out nice and straight. I don't
Very
think so.
nice.
Is that the name of the model? Big
Oh.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Aha.
yeah.
it was
Is
named
that-
in 1948.
Wow.
Keith, to refresh my memory, do you make this with a wing jig or lost foam? How do you make it?
Well, I had a lost foam cradle that I had cut myself. And that's what the basic wing structure was put into. But then because everything is straight on this thing, there's no taper to the wing, leading edge is straight, and the trailing edge, the only thing that's tapered is the trailing edge behind the rib. So the ribs are all constant. So I fixed up a jig to where it holds this trailing edge flat when the bottom is flat on the table. And that worked out better than my jig, because my jig, the one I made, cradle I made, wasn't quite straight. I ended up with a warped trailing edge on both sides before. And this one is fixed. I'm really happy. I don't know if you can see. Does that show up? Try to line this thing up.
Tilt it
Yeah.
down.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, very straight, very true. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
And same, and the last one, I probably had a 1/4 of an inch bow in one of the trailing edges. And that's not there now. And there's a piece of carbon mat between these two pieces, top and bottom. So it's stiff this way. It's not gonna change.
Very good.
And the notch here, that's where the tank goes.
How
Very
big
good.
how big will the bell crank be, Keith?
This will be what, 3 3/4.
Okay. I
Yeah.
can't believe that some of these very old aircraft, they seem to get a lot right very quickly, didn't they, in the early days?
Well, this one was right, and we drew the plans from one that Tony Nacarado had built from his mother designed this thing. There's a picture in a old aircraft manual. Picture was taken in 1948 that shows this airplane. But and his airplane that Tony built was essentially, he said, from the same templates that his mother used, 50 years before. And this one was way ahead of its time because it's got a nice thick airfoil
Yeah.
and had a long tail with a big horizontal tail on it. Like I say, it was way ahead of its time.
It looks like a modern airfoil too.
Well, that certainly does, but yeah, this was taken off that same airplane. It was designed 50 years ago.
Yeah, amazing.
Nice work.
What was Tony's mother's name?
Addie,
Addie. All right.
Tony and Addie Nacarado. That was TNA Hobby Shop there in Burbank. She did all sorts of remarkable things. She made a electric powered B-36. Oh, I don't know, 20 years ago. Radio control. Tony flew it.
Okay. Keith, I hate to even bring up the subject, but the airplane at the last big job, the last new one you had, did
Yeah.
you get enough time on it to see if it was going to work or what all
Yeah,
happened?
it was about 3 ounces lighter than the other one.
Yeah.
And it flew 3 ounces lighter. It made a big difference.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I just let the thing get behind my head, and there's no reason for it because I don't have to, on that one, I didn't have to put the vertical 8s behind my head.
Yeah.
It just
Yep.
got back there, I lost it and didn't know where it was.
Hmm. That's too darn bad. I
Mm.
know you were happy with the way the weight was turning out and everything like that. So
3 ounces made a big, from 52 to 52 ounces to 48 ounces, it made a big difference.
yep.
Wow. Hey, Denny,
Yes, sir.
I've been meaning to ask you for quite some time. That seat you're in there, that chair, is that a standard Martin Baker ejector seat or is it a different kind of?
Oh, what it is a just a basic lazy dentist chair with the folded up treadmill behind me. That's the treadmill. Instead of laying on the floor, it swings up vertical. So that right there, that's the treadmill. But you're right. I hadn't noticed that. It does kind of look like I'm loaded, or pull the shade down and I'm launching myself. Yeah.
I thought it might have been a good escape method when your wife asked you to do the lawns.
Oh man. Well, it's her treadmill, so it doesn't listen to me anyway. So it doesn't respond to my my inputs. So
Hey, Charles,
Yeah, Mark.
I got something in the mail today I'll just share with you guys.
All right.
I got this from Tindy. There you
Let's
go.
get big here.
And it's the climb and dive.
Oh, very cool.
So you'll see what they get.
Oh, very coal.
Let's see, that might be too
Nice.
close. You get that,
Yeah.
and then you get one of these
yeah.
with some pin connectors in there. And then you get one of these. There
Okay.
we go. And there are no instructions, but you just go on the website.
Mhm.
Apparently the instructions are good, and it'll give me a chance to try out my new soldering iron. So I'm looking forward to getting it ready and putting it in something.
That's great.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So
So how much
Hey,
was that? That's an active timer, right? So how much was that
yes.
one?
Yeah.
How
I
much
do
is
that to show up. I'm just not a pretty face.
Mm. Well, I don't know about your pretty face. I was just going to ask how's your boo-boo on? How's your recovery coming along?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me get something and I'll show you.
Mm.
Huh.
What happened to him? I'm behind.
I've been getting some disbelief from the guys who I play golf with. I'm president of their league. So I try to, because all they've seen me is with this, and they're calling me names that I wouldn't repeat on broadcast video.
Mhm.
So, and I hadn't seen it real well either. Let's see something.
Did you get
So
a couple of bolts?
it ends up being about 3 inches and about 20 stitches.
Wow.
So if you can see it,
Oh,
Okay.
yuck.
there you go. I know I got some glare on it.
All right.
So anyway, it's doing well. It doesn't bother me, except a full cure from something on your neck is 6 months. And he said no activity, no strenuous activity for maybe a couple of weeks. Of course, my wife said, well, that won't be hard for you.
No overhead 8s.
Yeah, no overhead, especially in the house. So I'm a reasonably good patient. I take the antibiotics and all that stuff, and it makes you feel, every morning, any morning you can go up, wake up, and do the things you want to do. That's a good day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm a little bit grounded now, and but a lot of good things are coming. Triple Tree is coming real quick, and everything else. So
What was it, Mark? Was it a skin cancer or a
Yeah.
couple of bolts
Yeah.
replaced?
no, it was skin cancer. I'm very well. I shouldn't say I'm very susceptible to it, but
Yeah.
my dermatologist is a terrific guy, and he said a lot of this stuff probably happened to you 40 years ago.
Yeah.
you know, you lay out on the beach, you get burned, you turn red and everything seems to get well. It doesn't get well.
No.
So I've had a bunch of minor surgeries. This one was a little deeper. You know, on the outside, it was as big as a pencil eraser.
Yes.
But as he started cutting through the skin, you know, it got bigger. So he keeps shaving the skin until there are no traces.
Yeah. We get a lot of them down here in our population because the
Yeah.
UV is so high.
Yeah.
Australia and New Zealand, we're the world leaders in the damn things. I've had about 4 cut out of my face.
Yeah.
And my lip been reconstructed.
So, but you know what? At least we live in a time when they can take care of these things.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah. So I try to look at the brighter side, despite the fact that I'm Pampa president.
Yeah.
You know, I try to keep a positive attitude. And actually, there are a lot of good things going on, and ticket sales are going well. And I'm kind of pushing that for the banquet because I think we may need a bigger room.
Hmm.
Ah, a
Right
nice
now,
problem to
right
have.
now the room fits 100, and I'm not convinced that's going to be enough. But I need time to tell Ball State, you know, not just more tables, but a bigger room. But that's all good.
Mhm.
You know, it's all good. It's a great reason. It's going to be a great evening, and it's worth the effort. You know, it just is.
And you made the announcement for the Hall of Fame.
Yes, and Keith has really been the driving force behind getting the Hall of Fame a little more current again, because there hadn't been any votes on anyone, I think, since 2014. And that's not anyone's fault. It's just time went on. And when I realized that, I spoke to Keith, I spoke to Bob, and Keith, just like always, took it and got some names. And really more important than that is really the document. The history of the person is what you really need. Because there are a lot of nice people we know, you know, and there are a lot of good people who've done some good things. But when you want to vote on people for something as prestigious as the Hall of Fame, I mean, you got to have a good baseball card. You know, you got to flip that thing over, and you got to have a lot of runs, hits, and all that. And the 4 guys who got in, you know, they meet that criteria, and they're all coming. I called them all, even though 2 of them I knew, but I just wanted to make sure. So I spoke to Mary Phelps, and she was very happy, and she's bringing her daughter, and they already bought banquet tickets. And
Right.
I called Bob McDonald, and he did not know, so that was real nice, and he appreciated it. Let's see, who else do we got? We have Tom
Dave
Dixon,
Turkey? Okay.
who I called, who in his own way was very happy. You know, he was proud, and I said, you should be proud.
Yeah.
You know, and Dave Gerke was the 4th. He lives upstate New York, outside of Buffalo. He knew, but he appreciated kind of an official call. You know, I'm president of a very small organization, but it felt good to make the calls. You know, because you get these people, and I'm coming. How do I buy tickets? You know, and he asked me to send him some more information, but they're coming. So it's just going to be. I think it's going to be a great evening.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I would like to second the statement there, Keith, taking down, re-energizing the whole Hall of Fame program, if you will, picking it back up and everything like that. That was the important step. Certainly, like you say, all the people who were this is a very strong class, and but they wouldn't have got here without having that the reinvigorated effort at the effort from Keith. And
Absolutely.
everything
It
like
only
that.
took me. It only took me maybe 20 calls to Keith to get him going.
Yeah.
The first 19, he wouldn't pick up.
Yeah, well, he
But the
probably
20th
had, he probably had your name, your name ID or something like that on
Yeah.
it. Would you call him from a burner phone or something? Or-
No, you know Keith better than I do, but it's been my pleasure to get to know him. And,
Yeah,
you not only know that the job's going to get done, but you know it's going to get done right.
yeah.
If he was a surgeon, I'd go to him.
Well, never heard that one before. Well, one thing I can't take all the credit. Some of the work was already done by Wen on a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But what most people don't realize, the nomination package that is really needed to justify somebody being selected, those packages were like 7-8 pages long, filled up with accomplishments and activities that those people have done essentially over a lifetime. And that's all well deserved, what these people are recognized for.
Mhm.
Wow.
I think these people more so than some of the people in the past, but not to take away the work that Wynn has done, because he's the one that started it, and the names are on that list now, Hall of Fame list. There's nobody there that shouldn't be there, let's put it that way.
Absolutely. And,
Mhm.
there are 3 on the committee, and I always call Keith the chairman, but Frank McMillan and Bob Hunt. And I was on there just so I know what's going on. Keith was nice enough to plug me in, but he kind of reminded me, the Hall of Fame falls on the people. It's not an AMA Hall of Fame. It's not Joe Smith's Hall of Fame. It's a Pampa Hall of Fame. And
Yes.
so I think it's a big deal. And I think anyone who knows what we do knows it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So
making those calls was really kind of fun.
We have 3 people in our Hall of Fame that are were in the AMA Hall of Fame before they got into the Pampa Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
If that means anything.
Yep.
Oh. Let me welcome a couple people. Howard Rush, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. And Philip Bailey, thank you for coming in, and thank you for the like. I see you delivered a like for us. Thank you very much.
Yep. So.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. You take a look, those people covered quite an era and stuff, and I've flown with or against or whatever, all of them. And you consider Dave Durkee especially was a very, very powerful force in the early 60s and stuff, but it hasn't been real active in control line stunts since then.
You see that, Dennis?
I sure do.
Make it big here.
I was looking through an old magazine today.
That's it.
Look at that young man.
There's Dennis.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's when
Sweet
I
pea.
used to be somebody. So
No, you're still somebody.
yeah. Well,
But he
then
could
I
have
showed
been a
up in model
contender.
magazines. Now I show up in the post office. So
Oh, Lord.
Who was that? You said I was a
What-
contender. Who was that?
Yeah, I said he could have been a contender.
Yeah.
contender.
That was great. Great, Phil. That was funny.
Yeah.
So Charles, I've been online here for a half an hour and you haven't asked a magic question. What's the question you ask every show?
Have you guys been doing any flying?
Have you been doing any flying or been doing anything in your shop?
Damn, hell yes.
Hey, there you go.
Let me
Hell
know
yes.
about
I
it.
got 6 flights today. Thank you for asking.
Wow.
Wow.
Went
many
out with
Six
Larry
flights
Fruits
in
and
April. Very good.
yeah, I
How
went
many
out with Larry Fruits and Todd Gunder. That's Craig's little brother.
Yep.
And we got together. We had a heck of a flying. We had an April kind of flying session. It's like, somebody forgot his glow driver. Somebody else forgot this and that and whatever. Oh my God! One guy rolled out his lines. They're all messed up. So we had some substitutes. I mean, the kind of things that happen, the first time out in April. And, the guy, the other guys are flying glow engines. So that the first couple of flights, all you can see is, fogs of old Castor coming out and everything like that. So they get cleaned out a little bit. And by the end of the day, man, everybody was running strong, and we had a really had like 5 to 7 mile an hour winds and 70-degree temperatures,
Oh, wow.
sunshine.
Sounds
Wow.
perfect.
That's it.
I hope we
That's
get
it.
that weather tomorrow.
I hope you do. I really hope you do. But it was fantastic. Might be coming your way, Lenny. But
Yeah, you never know.
that's
was
it. You're a little farther north, but you're
It
about
was-
a
it was-
day
it
away.
was-
So
It was pretty nice here today, but not that kind of nice.
Yeah, I
yeah,
went flying today, actually.
You did.
What's that, Stuart?
Yeah, I went flying today. So
What'd
Where'd
you fly?
what's that? What did I fly?
Yeah.
The Tudor and the old Combat from
terrific.
Beauty. Where'd you fly?
on the golf course.
Oh, that's good. Cool.
So that was all right.
Now the Tudor, you repaired the Tudor from a crash, right?
Yeah.
How did it fly?
60-70 degrees.
Crashed again today.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It was okay. I only took out the prop.
Oh, that's not bad.
But actually it is flying better since I put those weights on. But the one thing is, can you adjust? I don't know, when you adjust on the flaps, will that help it turn more?
What do you mean adjust?
I don't know. Let me just grab it here. Well, the horn on that, oops, if I can get this working. So right here, if I adjust this, will this give me more turn on the plane? If I adjust anything in here?
Adjusting the control ratios?
Yeah,
It probably could. It probably would. It would be a combination of, if you were speeding up or slowing down the control ratios, it could either make it turn tighter or turn quicker, I should say, respond quicker, or make it more easily controlled, depending which way you went.
I would recommend,
turn tighter if I
I
can.
would recommend, if you make any change, it would be to speed up the elevator relative to the flap. In other words, use less flap
Yeah.
relative to the elevator. Start that way first before you start to speed up the flaps.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, I kind of missed, I didn't quite get what you said there. Understood what
Okay,
you're
you have a certain ratio between the movement between the flaps and the elevator now.
right.
Okay, so if you're going to make a change, I would first speed up the elevator relative to the flaps. In other words, get more elevator movement than what you have now relative to the flaps.
I've already done that.
And did that help any?
Yeah, but I need a little more, I think, because it's smooth, it seems smoother, but I still need a little bit more to get that turn in.
Can you put any more elevator in it?
No, because I think I went up to the top end of it
Okay.
today, unless I changed the horn.
No. Then,
Well, it's kind of a pain. You can move the push rod there at that end. If you moved it up to the same hole, literally the same pivot point as where the wire is coming in from the bell crank.
Here,
Yeah, and you can do that sometimes if it's pretty easy to do if you use something like the bolt through ball links and stuff like that. If you're using bent wire L's, it's a little harder to do. In fact, it's a lot harder to do.
Put some weight in the tail.
Yeah,
I would go anyway, more elevator to flap ratio before and see how that works, and then go the other way to see if you get any improvement.
so these are right beside each other, so
But they're not the same hole though, right, Stuart?
so
Well,
you're saying
I think
move-
what Dennis is suggesting, I think, is there any way to put a ball link on both sides where your a push rod comes into your flap horn? And put
On
a ball link on either
both
side of that.
yeah. If you put them both on the same, what happens is that you actually generate more movement in that push rod going back. All right, it has the effect of speeding up the elevator to, the way Keith describes.
You can adjust that at the elevator and keep the flaps as they are.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
he says he can't move the elevator closer to the pivot anymore than he does.
Yeah.
Stuart, what's your handle like?
My handle.
Yeah, how far is your
Yeah.
line spacing between your handle?
That's right too.
That's a good question, Jonathan.
Maybe it's a little nose heavy.
That's what it sounds like to me.
But you can't change the airplane dynamics with the handle.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's where I'm at anyhow.
Okay.
Pretty wide apart.
Yeah, looks about right. Yeah. What size bell crank have they got on those tutors? They're about a 4-inch.
I don't know. I got it handed down to me, so I don't
It's an
know.
Stuart,
earth.
Is that
It's
the
an earth.
original? Is that the
That's-
original tutor or the ARF?
It's the earth.
It's the bigger
That's
one.
It's the
Yes.
ARF, and I have a brand new one downstairs. I'm gonna go check the bell crank size. Hang on.
I think it's
All right.
3 inches.
I'd be surprised if it's a 4-inch bell crank.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
3.
Probably 3.5.
I think it's 3. I think when those were done, it was a top flight 3.
Where have you got it, Stuart, on your elevator horn? I can see your elevator horn in the background there. Whereabouts is it?
It's right at the top.
About halfway down, is it?
No, it's right up top. It's just the way it looks. It looks like there's a gap here, but it's on
Yeah.
the closest to the elevator.
So you can't
Okay.
move it any closer to the elevator than it is now.
See?
Oh, right. I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved it up today. It seems to be flying better. Actually, since we put the weight on the nose, it's just I'd like to get a little bit more turn on it. But
It
That's
sounds like
standard
you might
flight.
need tail weight.
Did you say you put weight on the nose?
well, when you actually balance it like you normally would off the spar,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
with the weight I put on the front, it balanced really nice.
Well, you
Okay.
can take it, you can effectively put tail weight in it by taking some nose weight out. But remember, the ratio is 4-to-1, so only take out 1/4 as much as you want to add to the tail.
But normally, wouldn't you do it if it balances on the spar? It
It
should
don't
be
matter if it balances fine, but if there's a balance and then there's an aerodynamic balance. And if you need more turn, you need more tail weight.
okay. Okay. I might change that around, try something.
It's where the plane is happy.
Yeah.
Take a little bit out, take a little bit off the nose. And if you were going to add to the tail, you're going to add 1 ounce. Okay, just take a 1/4 ounce off the nose, and that'll put you in the ballpark.
Okay, maybe I'll
And
try
if you
that.
like it, then do it some more until it becomes too sensitive, too touchy.
Okay.
I mean, it's good to do what you did. It's good for a safe flight for when you first go out there, first time you fly a plane. But then as you fly it, then you want to adjust it to your liking.
If it's, I don't know if it was hunting before a bit, but it seemed a lot when I flew it today. It seemed quite smooth.
Yeah, nose heavy planes do fly really smooth.
Oh yeah, it takes all the hunt out of them. But remember, the real aerobatic airplanes are inherently quirky. They are not smooth. If you ever ride one, they're dancing around all the time.
Yeah.
They just, everybody shows it and they say, oh, it's just dead level. You see pictures and it's flying just dead level. If it's a real aerobatic plane, be it a Christian Eagle or a Pitts 2 or a XR2, it's actually dancing around all the time. They're inherently unstable.
Oh, really?
And that is tail weight.
Does it
In
turn?
the model, you have a tail weight. Do what?
Does it turn inside or outside better, or is it about the same?
I thought it was about the same.
Well, then the ship's pretty good. You just need to play with the tail weight.
I'd have to, I don't know. I did an outside loop, and that's where I got in trouble a little bit. And I tried to crank it near the end, and I just brought it down too low. But I don't know.
It's easy to do.
And then I broke the prop, and then I had to go to a smaller prop, and I didn't like that. So I'm gonna put
Are your flaps taped?
I think these were. Yep.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Still taped. Oh well. All right, well, I'll play with it and see what happens. And then I got my little tail
Oh, cool.
springer on here.
Let me see. Oh, okay.
Ever seen one of those before?
I have.
Oh, yeah. I've seen one of those before.
Are you using that for a stooge or just to make
Yeah.
the tail
Well,
wheel?
I did it that way. So I could just hook into here for the stooge.
All right.
Oh, I don't know. I thought, oh well, I just decided to do that. I could hook it up. Then
So
I
do you use
got
a tool to do that? You have a special tool that does that?
twist pliers. You guys ever seen those?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'll show you one. I'll show you how it works. It's
All right.
actually, the reason I bought this was actually originally for RC for Hygron lines, and then
While you're looking for that, let me welcome Jim Hoffman. I've been waiting for your camera to show
Hey,
up.
Jim.
See your name, but don't see your face yet, Jim.
Hi,
And
that's
welcome,
that's
Caffeine. Thanks for coming in,
that's-
Caffeine.
You're not going to see my face because I'm in the car. I'm just doing a quick little errand.
Oh,
So
no
I have
problem.
a few moments to listen in. So here I
Oh,
am.
well, thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And I can't stay but for a few minutes.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So let's see here.
Sounds like you're doing the toughest thing there is to do, is trim an airplane long distance. It's the one thing you gotta be there for.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, he has Lynn and Brad LaPointe up there in Canada with him. They're not too far from you, right, Sean? I mean, Stuart.
Yeah, they're close. Len's always been good. So this is the
Oh,
twist.
don't say that. You'll give him a swelled head.
Yeah, if
This-
Lynn could just see the airplane, fondle it, and fly it 2 times, you'd make a ton of progress.
Yeah, I know. It's just-
Okay, that's a neat tool. I
oh
haven't
yeah,
seen
you
that.
clamp down the wire.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm gonna hook it on here just to show you. And then what you do is you pull this. Oops. You just basically, there's a plunger here.
Yeah.
And all you do is pull it. It's kind of hard to.
Yeah. And it twists it, huh? It turns it. Okay.
And you can get a really tight twist out of this.
Interesting. Okay.
Let me pull it up so you can see.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
So then I'll hook this on to the tail wheel and then do the other end for the stooge. But
Okay.
comes
I
in
don't know why
handy.
I thought you would do it differently than that. That works.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's I don't know. I haven't seen too many of them, so I wouldn't know if there's something better. That's just the way I was gonna do it.
Well, you got a good result. So that's more than one way to do something.
Yeah, as long as it works.
That's right. As long as it works. And it looks like Brent Williams came in. Thank you for coming in, Brent. How you doing?
Good. I've got a question for Dennis Adam Eason.
Go ahead.
Okay. Just curious if he has any super strong feelings about Finn's 40G Spectra material.
I am using the 45-pound line on some of my light airplanes and small airplanes, and I really, really like it. It's and I'm using it on like I got a bunch of airplanes in the 30 to 40 ounce range, and it works terrific for that. It's extremely small and thin gauge and everything like that. I have not used it in any of the larger sizes yet. I've been a little reluctant to try it because in my mind, I've been struggling with the strength of the line is one thing, and the lines are certainly strong enough. I've been worried about the stretch in the line, and the fins is small enough that I don't know that it's, and it has a unique structure. I haven't been able to convince myself that it might not be prone to stretching in some of the big sizes and the heavy sizes and stuff. And I have to stress, I just don't know. It might be perfectly fine. And it could be a question of using, even the larger sizes of the 40G. If you used 100-pound instead of the 80-pound, it would still be very, very small and slippery, and that might be enough to make sure, that it overcome or that it evades any stress or any stretch, I should say, or anything like that.
Yeah, I was noticing the 85-pound stuff is like 14 thousandths.
Yeah.
Same thing. I was curious if you had experienced stretch or sponginess or anything like that.
I haven't noticed it. I haven't noticed it in anything I've done. And again, what I'd like to do this year is I have some airplanes flying on 50-pound line. I'm going to try to fly them on 65 and 80 and see if I can tell any difference. And then I got some that I'm flying on 80 and 100-pound line. I'd like to fly it on 80 and 65, walk it up and down, take with the big one and walk it down, the little one, walk it up, and see if I can find anything there. So I haven't noticed anything at all. I don't know, Len, you got a comment on that? You've been using straight regular
I've never
Power Pro.
used the fins. I've only used the Spectra. So I don't know.
The regular PowerPoint.
Yeah, and just the regular. I never used the Max Quattro. I've used 85 or 65-pound and 100-pound. I've got myself some 80-pound now that I want to try. And if the 80-pound seems like the same, I'm going to try it in lieu of the 100-pound on a number of planes.
Yeah, you got some big airplanes where you could stress that out.
Yeah,
my
I'm gonna
heaviest
try it.
airplane weighs 70 ounces, and I actually using 100-pound Power Pro on that. My next heaviest airplane is 67 ounces, and I'm using 80-pound Max Quattro on that, which is quite a bit smaller.
Okay.
And I'm happy with both of them. But again, I want to take the 100-pound, the airplane that's on 100-pound, and walk it down. And then the Mobest is a 55-ounce airplane. I'm flying it on 50-pound Max Quattro, and that's the one. I don't think I'd want to go any smaller, certainly, but I know how it flies on the 50. I'm going to fly it on some 65 and 80-pound line and see if it tells me anything.
Yeah, the 65-pound fins 40G is 12 thousandths or thereabouts. Quite thin, so that's very attractive. But the it's a spongy, then that's not so
well.
awesome.
I don't know if it's spongy or not. I'm worried that it might be. But the one thing that the fins 40G has 50% of the mass of the line is in a single strand.
Yep.
Right. It has a single strand, and it has that 8-strand sheathing around the outside that just makes it nice and smooth. I gotta believe that the outer layer, that outer sheathing probably doesn't add an awful lot to the strength, right? So I guess what we'd be banking on is that single strand may be stiffer or maybe more prone to stretch, than a 4-strand. So but again, I just don't have enough. I don't have any experience with it. I know
the feel that you're feeling on your bigger planes. You think it's like the lack of inertia from the lines is the thing that's giving the better or good performance?
Well, what I noticed on the SB11 with the 100-pound line is that I could tell the immediate feedback I got was there was no line friction. And I noticed that because, when you do a round loop, it isn't just, jerk on it and hang on tight. You're constantly, tweaking your input and feeling the airplane around the loop and stuff. And it was the craziest thing. I couldn't do a smooth round loop with it on steel lines, and I was battling that. and I put the Spectra on it, and all of a sudden it flew the way I expected it to fly. It was responding, and it took me 2 flights like that to really try to identify what was happening. So this airplane is flying better, but I don't know why. All right, it took me that second flight to realize that it was the difference in line friction. And I think that's just about a given, just about any type of line or brand, or 4-strand, 8-strand, single strand. I think that's a natural product of the Spectra product over stainless. So
Yeah, I was noticing
that's,
on one of your posts, you had mentioned that there's so many good brands now that it's not like 12 years ago when Power Pro is basically the
well,
know,
they're the pioneer. They're the ones that did it, and that did it all over. I started focusing in on the Fins brand. They have several product lines, but what I liked about them is that they're based in Kentucky, and I could order directly from the factory, and I could absolutely not even think about whether it was a counterfeit line or anything like that. And we've heard some people have bought it off eBay and stuff, and have had some issues, especially with the Power Pro, because it's been out there the longest. It's the easiest one to mimic and everything like that. And I think I also said, there's a lot of lines out there. There are some odd duck brands and stuff. They're like half the price, and it's like, this stuff isn't expensive enough to begin with, to where half the price, really is a big thing. So I think I'd like the idea of staying with the name brands. The Fins Fishing, the company, they have several different lines, no pun intended, several different product lines, 4 strands, 8 strands, a 5-strand, and the 40G, which is technically a 9-strand line, but that's the single strand plus the 8 strands are on the outside. And they seem to be right on top of it. I guess they actually used to supply line to other companies to sell under their brand. They were one of the first, manufacturing facilities set up in America to actually make a fishing line product using the Spectra fibers. So I've been ordering direct from them, and well, not a lot of orders, obviously, but I'm happy with their service, and I'm going to keep going that way, I think.
Yeah, I've seen they have a Wind Tamer and a couple other varieties.
The Wind Tamer line is a 4-strand line, and of all the sizes, it looks like it's exactly the same as the Power Pro lines, the regular Power Pro lines. All right. So it's, to me, the Wind Tamer equals Power Pro. All right. They have a 8-strand line called the XS. I actually got some of that last year, and it looks, again, the sizes match up with the 8-strand Power Pro, and it's a very good line. The last line I got from him is I got some Spin 5. It's a 5-strand line, and the sizes of it are the same as Max Quattro. The only knock on it is that they stop at 65 pound. They don't make anything bigger than that. Well, I got some 65 pound. I'm going to be using that and comparing that to the 50-pound Max Quattro and 80-pound Max Quattro, because they're all, in the size schedule, if you will, they all match up. But I've got some, high hopes for that. So then the 40G, I haven't given up on it at all. Like, say, for the small, for the where I have it, that's the only thing I'll use on something like on my old timers. I got a Barnstormer, in like 32 ounces. I got a Stuka Stunt at 33 ounces, I think it is, and stuff. Those airplanes absolutely dance when they don't have any line on them, and that's where I think the line really pays off on airplanes in that size class. I mean, it just, pays off huge the way it does, same way it does like on the half A's versus, some of the other products that we used to fly half A's on. So
that's great.
I think
I really haven't
Phil,
answered your question, but anyhow, yeah.
I think Phil had a question. Did you have a question,
Yeah,
Phil?
I'm sorry, Phil.
You're muted, Phil. You gotta unmute yourself.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask Dennis, what size motor did you have and do you have in the Mobest, and what size lines and kind of lines do you fly it on now?
I have a Brodak 2826 4 cells with a Castle ESC. Let's see, I'm flying it on 50-pound Power Pro Max Quattro, 63 feet long. All right.
That'll do it.
And happy with all of those checkpoints. Like say, I just want to double check. I have not done any, I've worried about stretching in the lines, but I haven't up to now done any specific tests or anything like that. If you know what I mean, experiments.
Yeah.
Try to see if I could sense a difference in stretch. So that's why I want to try to make up some lines and try them back to back to back and see if there, if there's any difference in response.
Well, what was the line you said you was going to try on the 35 size old timer?
Well, the line I just got is called Spin 5. It's made by Finn's Fishing out of Kentucky, and it's a 65-pound is what I got.
And you like that on the Barnstormer?
I haven't. Oh, on the Barnstormer, I'm sorry, I'm flying Finn's 40G 45-pound test. And it's like, I think 9,000 stick. I mean, there's
40G, what now?
Finn's 40G. That's the brand. All right.
And
go to a company, go to a website, finsfishing.com. All right. And take a look around there. You'll see, you'll be able to find it there. They make that up to a 100-pound line. So
what do you use on the Barnstormer side? 65 pound?
I use 45 on that.
45, okay.
It's a 30-ounce airplane, so it just, there just isn't much there. So
mine's a little heavier than that. I don't know how, but mine's a little heavier than that. First one was 28, the second one's 34. I don't know what happened. Anyway.
Then Dennis, I got another.
Thank you, Dennis.
Okay.
Do what?
My experiment with 2-cell
make it bigger.
All right.
So
what do you got there?
This is a prop drive 3536 motor, which is a 2814 in normal motor speak, and it's a 1800 kV. So we're going to try this on a 2S 4200 lithium ion. And if you put numbers on it, it could possibly fly a 45-ounce plane.
It should be a 10.6 prop. That's basically a 35 is what it amounts to. So, yeah.
So, and if you run the numbers on amp on or should draw it, I think you could probably fly a 45-ounce plane on a 2-cell 4200. We're going to give it a shot. I have a whole bunch of flight streaks and masters and calm wing planes that are in the 400-inch size.
Yeah, basically the classic size airplanes.
Yep, and so I think it should fly those without even a hiccup.
Yeah.
I've got the on as well. So, or I'll try it on a Midwest, one of the Warbirds. I've got a Midwest Smith or whatever they are.
Yeah. Okay.
A really light one of those. And I think those are about 500-inch planes. Is that,
yeah, I think they were 480 or so, but yeah, a 48-inch span, weren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty thin airfoil, so it shouldn't.
Yeah, and they're they need to fly a little fast, and but they got they had nice scale size or scale shape fuselages and stuff. They really look nice in the air. So
yeah, so this motor is a NTM prop drive, so it's a they're pretty inexpensive motors. I guess they're made. I don't know if they're made by Turnigy, but it says made by Hextronic, and then the wires, the labeling on the wires here is Turnigy wires. So I don't know if Turnigy makes these or if they just got a good deal on wire from Turnigy or what. But anyway, it's not a bottom of the barrel motor, but it's a good mid-grade setup, but 1800 kV, it should do just fine on, like I said, 9.6 or 10.6. And
Mhm. Yeah, that's gonna be no issue at all. I've got a Turnigy 3542, so that's what like a 2820 on a on one of my airplanes from way back when. It is kind of a hoot. When I bought the motor, it was $17, and it was like crazy. And
so
I think it's up to like $30 now or something, but yeah.
Yeah, the cool thing about this setup is between this motor and a 2-cell 4200 pack, you're looking at like a 10 or 11 ounce total package with the ESC, I think. So,
Yeah, that sounds right. That's insane. So
that's well, the thing that's kind of cool is, a lot of the classic planes were designed around unmuffled 35s,
Yes.
and with a wood top. So this is one way of finally trying to fly a classic size 35 plane with a power package that is more or less equal to as they were intended back in the day. And so, it's like all these long nose classic planes, you put a muffled modern engine in them, and it's kind of
it just it doesn't work. And then even the electrics are tend to be a little heavy-ish. And but yeah, I mean, you'll be able to build a 40-ounce Aries or something like that, and it'll be terrific. So
yeah, there'll be some results later this year of how these fly. I bought 3 of them, so
terrific.
I figured if I'm going
I
to
think
try
you'll
it,
be happy with them.
yeah. So yeah, it's and one thing I kind of like about the 2-cell concept is there's fewer things to fail. So like if people wanted to replicate it, building a 4-cell or 6-cell pack is a little more challenging, but a 2-cell pack, you've only got a few connections to deal with. And if you're dealing with a constant speed or a governor type timer, you're not really asking a lot of you're not asking a lot from it, so.
Well, it's a killer. Everything you said about it is true, with the classic airplane. Plus, it'll actually be a power up versus the classic power plant. It really will. So
Anyway, I thought you'd enjoy an update on that since we had discussed it a while
yeah,
ago.
it really is. I really do. I haven't. So I got a
Pretty cool.
3-cell 3515 that I'm looking forward to trying out this year. I've got to get my act together on soldering irons and everything like that. And
well, Will tomorrow solders everything. So I think based on the 150 or so packs that he's put together, I think he's put it to bed that you can solder them and they'll be just fine. So
yeah. Except you don't know my soldering mechanism. The biggest thing I need is I need that first class iron that doesn't sit there and cook the batteries while you're trying to get the,
Yeah, he uses a big Weller gun,
Yeah.
which works fine, or a 100-watt iron with the big tip. So, but I think Will has proven that you can do it with pretty regular person stuff, and it works.
Yeah, Joe Daly was talking about his his Willpower batteries. All right. Which I thought was a perfect name. Willpowers. Yeah.
Yeah, Will will share all of his
Yes.
his techniques and stuff. He's a great guy. So
Yeah, Will has been very, very helpful. When I first get started with electric airplanes and stuff, he was one of the go-to people to talk to. Still is. So
Yeah.
So
well, anyway, that's my show and tell. So there.
All right. Hey, thank you, Brent. Appreciate it. Go
that's
ahead,
it.
Philip.
Charles, how's yours coming? Did you get your Fioretta and your SV11 yet?
I have all that stuff. I just haven't done anything yet with the SV11.
Well, I'm playing with mine now. It's in on the table in the other room. It's not ready to be seen yet, but I'll show it to you one of these nights. I was hoping to show it to you tonight. I got the spinner cut and the prop fits, but trying to get the prop shaft in the propeller and get everything set up just ran out of time. But anyway, maybe next week, maybe
great.
Friday. But
That'd be
anyway,
great.
you and I need to get together and bang some ideas back and forth because we have the same ESC and timer.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
And I've got a badass 3515 motor. I think it's 870. And then the ESC and timer are both from Okier. They're both, well, I thought it was Spin 66 and a Fioretti. Spin
That's what I
66
got.
Pro.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the same outfit
So we
and the same
definitely will.
airplane. So we need to compare notes and see what we can come up with.
We definitely will. Definitely will. You know what I have been working on? I showed them last was that Friday. I made myself big. I painted a couple of these handles.
You are big.
Well, probably when I'm talking I'm big, but this will make it big all the time. So last time you saw this handle, it wasn't painted. Now
Yeah.
it's painted, and you can see the
Perfect.
texture.
Uh-huh.
You see the texture
Yeah.
there. It still shows up.
Yeah, you got it all textured up.
And this is a little bit bigger than the standard Brent Williams handle that you can buy from Brent. And then this is for my SV11. Oh shucks. Oh shucks. Okay. So this stuff came on here. So I have I have a green SV11. So I decided to paint my handle to match my plane.
Cool
So
deal.
this is also textured here as well.
That's a good idea. You and I have to do that because we both got mitts. I mean, some of these guys got small little hands.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Now, Brent, do you make the handle a little bit bigger than 3.5 inches? That's I made mine 3 5/8.
I only make 2, but you can hog it out a little bit. There's enough meat there that if you wanted to, you could enlarge the finger, the space just enough to get your fingers in. There's enough material there. So.
I added more meat too, so it's wider.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, because I think that your handle would be about that wide there to the back. So actually it's not only this way, it's wider this way. That's why I had to make everything out of my own wood, and I just used your hardware. And but these are my favorite handles.
Yeah.
I mean, and I made 4. I have these 2 here. I have 2 more in my vehicle, and one's white. I showed that one Friday, and then I have another one which is this clear dope. So there's 4 of them. This is my SV11, and I'm not sure which one's going to be my classic, and which one's going to be my profile, and which one's going to be the backup. But
All I know is that those airplanes, at least one of those is going to get painted yellow, isn't it? So
yes, yeah, maybe
so you don't
maybe
have to
this might
repaint
be
your handle.
Maybe for Precious Balsa has some yellow in it.
All right.
So
People paint their handles so fancy. The first prototype handle that I built, I painted it with yellow food coloring and as the dye. And then I put yellow food coloring and rubbing alcohol and dyed the handle. And then I finished it with medium CA.
that'll work.
That was my finish on it. So
that'll work.
I call the
You're
other
getting
guys
too
handles.
fancy.
Yeah, I call the other guys front row handles. There's there's some guys that make some beautiful stuff. There was a Marshall Palmer up in the Northwest. He bought several of my handles, and they look like a baby grand piano. They're black, shiny, and perfect. I felt self-conscious. I'm like, man, you should see my junk comparatively. So,
yeah,
It always kills me, guys that go out and build a real nice handle, and they come out to the field, and when they go to lay the handle, they just kind of drop it. And then when they get ready to take their lines up, rather than, I've got an old oil can, a quart can that's got 2 slots in it. If I'm going to have to drag my handle, I go put the handle in that can.
Nice.
And I drag
Great
the
idea.
can. I drag
Great
the can.
idea.
And they'll sit and drag their handle across the asphalt. And I'm sitting there, I did not rub the dang out to drag it across the asphalt.
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm not going to be dragging my
But
my handle.
the thing is that nice shiny grand piano handle would probably work better if you dragged it across the asphalt a little bit and took some
what
of
do you
that
got?
pretty shine off of it. But,
Well, mine's not shiny like that. I do texture mine.
yeah, okay.
In fact, I generally put, mine generally has either the wrap that you use on handlebars or the wrap that you use on tennis rackets, because I have plenty of both. And
Okay.
something to where I can hold on to it and make it a little squishy so I can hold on to it because my hands sweat and I can't handle a slick handle is just waiting to come out and go away when you get it wet.
Mhm.
So what do you got there, Jonathan? I saw you hold up a handle.
Well, it's funny. We were talking about handles. That's why I brought it up with Stuart. I've been messing around because I've got a couple of handles I like, but they never seem to do quite what I want. So I'm experimenting here. I've made one here where it's quite large, but of course Well, I've got a mitt the size of a ham, you know.
Yeah,
So
same
it
here.
locks in there, and I can adjust my lines. You can see the difference there. One's in, one's out. So if my lines are slightly out of kilter, I can straighten them out here with these lock nut things I've made. It's pretty strong. It's doweled through here and screwed with a plate, and it's made from engine bearer hardwood. So I can move these up and down. I can go right into 2 inches for a racer or something like that, and I can move them out as far as maybe 4.5 inches if I wanted to. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But I've made this non-grip. I found out by accident I don't like sand, on my grip. I'm sort of conscious of it. But this is sawdust from balsa wood. And what I did was I gave this area here a decent coating of dope.
Right.
Good thick coating of dope. And then I sanded balsa wood all over it, both sides. And you can possibly see it's sort of slightly.
Yeah.
It's got a slight grip on it, but it's not like you don't pick it up and go, oh, hell, I've got a handful of sand. And the way I've built it is it's locked right in there. And sometimes with the smaller models, I like to fly on my fingertips like that.
Right.
I get, response. So anyway, I'm going to test this out as soon as I can.
Yeah.
About a week ago, I did 3 flights, and but I didn't have this ready, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
You'd be surprised how much difference a plane flies in your hand when you have a handle with a good bit of overhang. In other words, the wires attach out here well in front of your hand, as opposed to one that attaches almost even with the end of your knuckle.
Yes.
And it just, they feel different, and it's personal preference. And one airplane may need a lot of gap like that, and the next one may need to be way back. And you just only experimenting will tell you. And you can't go there by saying, well, this is always better, because it's not always better. It's better most of the time, but not all of the time. And we got guys here that will use that handle and won't touch one of mine. And
right.
I mean, it goes both ways. It's personal preference. Handles are personal preference.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily fly with one particular handle for one particular model, although I know that does work. Oh, well, I mean, I know it works, but
when you get up in the ranks and start competing, you'll always want the same handle for that airplane, because it feels completely different.
Yes.
Change
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see if this can be developed. So I'll let you know.
Yeah.
You got some good thought in that, so that's going to pay off for you.
Yeah, hope so.
And let me welcome Dennis Nunez. Hey, Dennis, thanks for coming in.
That's it.
Hey, Dennis.
I have something to show if you're interested.
Oh, I'm very interested. Let me make it big. Unless you're gonna do a share screen, or are you gonna
let's see if I can do this right.
Okay.
Oh
wow, look at
that. P-47 looking.
It's the new one.
Look at that.
That's looking good.
It's getting there slowly.
Day in the morning.
So today was a beautiful day. Just a what is that? A Chinese three blade painted spinner, aluminum spinner.
Is it plastic or carbon
Chinese,
fiber?
and it came as a 3-blade.
Yeah,
I got some Chinese props, spinners, carbon fiber, but they weren't already cut.
yeah, I got some
I
carbon fiber ones
agonized
too.
over. I agonized over cutting that thing. Just didn't cut it. Finally went out there today and cut one and brought it in and said, "Oh, I'm afraid it's going to really make me sick." It fell down on the spinner, and the prop looked so nice. I couldn't believe it. Something finally worked out right. But there were several other things that didn't. So
what are we looking at? This is a Circulus.
Yeah, Circulus 61E. It's the same as my profile as far as the wing and the stab. It's just a full-bodied fuselage.
Nice.
Well, that's nice. Very nice.
So this one's covered in polyspan, and I got access hatches all over the place. And just the top hatch here is a big one. Canopy will be attached to that as well. It gives me access to the controls if I need it, and then the battery and everything from the top. And then for installation, I have a hatch on the bottom. Get all the wiring stuff, make sure I can get it all through there nice and neat. The nose of the cowl comes off, so I get access to the motor.
Wow.
And then
Dennis.
of course, I little access panel underneath the stab for the horn. So, and right now I'm at 58 ounces complete, all but the finish. So I got to try to keep the finish under 10 ounces.
Very nice.
That's nice.
So is that spinner plastic or carbon fiber or what?
It's aluminum.
It's aluminum. Okay.
Yeah, it's an old aluminum. I used to run on my Super Tiger 60s. And but now I have a carbon fiber that will go on there.
Very nice. That looks really nice, Dennis. I really like how it looks.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, it's taken a while. I have Jim Aaron working on the graphics, help me with the graphics on it. So we got some unique things going on there. So I'm not telling you.
Fair.
No
fair. Jim is a real artist.
The pilot, he may get changed out here, but I call him Little Howie because Howard Rush has the pilot that he sent it to me. So that's Little Howie that's in there right now. So nothing is glued on or anything yet. So.
Oh man, very nice. Wow.
Very neat. Very neat.
So hopefully we get it done soon. 61 inches.
Okay. Yeah, quite big.
682 square inches of wing.
Yeah.
So it'll keep me out of trouble.
Yeah.
So tell me about your electronics. What do you have inside underneath the hood?
It's got the badass 3515. Was it the 710 kV? It'll run a 6-cell. I'll start with the what is it? What is it? Yeah, what are they? A Thunder Power battery, 6-cell. But I'll probably go to the lithium ion. Just hopefully I can save some weight with that. And then I'm using a Fiorati timer.
Nice.
Is it a conventional undercarriage or is it tricycle?
Undercarriage. The gear's mounted in the wing.
Okay.
Tail dragger.
And the ESC is going to be what? Spin jet, spin 66.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, spin 66. Yeah, there's the front end.
Oh, very nice. Look at
Got
that.
some louvers in there, keep things cool.
Very nice. That looks really sharp.
Very nice. I like that.
Really business-like.
So, yeah.
What is the tail moment on that thing? What is the tail moment? Nose moment on that thing?
It's
nose and tail moment.
12 inches on the nose, 19 from hinge line to hinge line.
That'll be plenty. It looks, when you show the back end of it, the back end looks long. But when you show the front, the back looks very short, but the nose looks long. But 12 inches sounds like a lot, but with electric, it's not. That's what Igor's running. Very nice.
So hopefully we get it wrapped up here someday.
Yeah, you will.
You sound like me now. One of these days.
Well, it's taking me a while. I backed off. I mean, today, the weather conditions here at home, my garage finally got up to 70 degrees today. And everything else has been on the in California, Stockton, California.
Wow.
And
Oh, Stockton.
we've had
Yeah, you're
nothing,
well up
yeah,
north.
we've had nothing but rain and misery, and it's been cool. You know, I only
Yeah.
get like 46 degrees in my garage, and I get tired of being cold, so I just wasn't doing anything with it. So now that the weather's
Right.
getting better, it's warmer in the garage, I can do something now.
Well, I did something. I found something today I haven't seen in a long time. I was walking through the hobby shop and I just went in to get one little bolt, prop nut, to hold a carbon spinner on. And I looked down and I saw, now I forgot what to call it, stuff you put in SIG reducer. And I stuff was expensive, but it wasn't as expensive as I've seen it. $20 for a quart, so I bought it. But that was first time I've seen any reducer in quite a while.
Hmm.
I like your airplane. That's going to be a nice airplane.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I really like it a lot.
So it's a little bit
all
different.
in line. That's going to be a bad one. That's going to be a bad dog.
Mm.
So your hatch hold downs are, do you mind showing me one of your hatches, how you're doing it?
Yeah, just these are bolted down. I got 2 bolts for the big one that holds that down, and then 2 on the bottom, 2 on the side here for the nose, and the rear one actually is just taped on.
Okay.
For the control horn. So.
Now you're gonna have that. You're not gonna use the Paul Walker flap adjuster for the
Oh yeah,
flaps?
I got that in there. And in fact, here's the access tube to get to the bolt, to the adjuster.
That looks nice and tight, nice and business-like. I like it.
Yes. So in fact, let's see what is. All I do is I just shove that in there, and bingo, I'm in there, and I can twist it up or down, whichever way I need to go.
Or where the heck did you find that tool? Where did you get one of Paul Walker's systems? Is anybody actually delivering them?
No, you make them up.
Okay.
In fact, I can show it to you here. It's not that difficult. Just give me a second here.
Sure, no problem. I appreciate
I'm doing this with doing it one single-handed. So
I know you're holding the camera. I realize. Thank you. You're showing your talent.
People of that talented make me nervous.
So this build's all documented as well. So it's going to be an article, maybe in Stunt News or something.
not as in as detailed. That was a lot of work. There we go.
Excellent. Looks really nice, Dennis.
So here is the Walker flap device. It's basically a double horn that gets split.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can. It's hard to see back there, but
yeah, I see it.
Tied together, and then you just have a little short bolt with a ball link, and that's the actual adjuster that you use.
Okay. So the bolt just goes through that sleeve.
Yes, and it rotates freely, and then you come in with your ball driver on the back side to hit the head of the bolt.
That's neat. I like that.
Now, Mark Wise, are you going to use the same system? Is that what you're doing in your Impact or your Marks? Is it Marksman?
Yeah, exactly the same.
All right, thank you.
Cool deal.
And then this is for the accelerometer for the Ferrari. It's a 4-way adjustable, so that I make sure I get it, in the proper level state.
I had never thought about that, making that adjustable. That's neat.
This here, I stole the idea from Chris.
Rigotti. Chris Rigotti.
Rigotti, yeah.
Okay.
He showed that.
So how much adjustment do you have as far as movement? I'm talking about a quarter of an inch?
You don't need much. No, what I have underneath there is some. I made some washers out of 3/32 neoprene, and so you just you tighten it up to where you want, and then you can you take a ball driver, and you can adjust it 4 different ways, and it'll stay nice and snug.
Son of a
Yeah,
gun, that is neat.
So that worked out
Very
really
neat.
well. I really like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like it. I like your
Hope you don't mind if I
you-
steal that idea, because
I like your battery adjustment too. Your battery mounting system. That looks really neat, Dennis.
This looks like Paul Walker's on his Predator. That's neat.
And
That
this
is
just
very neat.
slides out of the way.
Oh, look at that.
There's the innards. And so batteries, this is a removable tray. So I can get to my ESC and whatever else I need to. Again, it's kind of hard doing this with one hand.
Yeah.
Well,
In fact,
show
I
me
got
how
some
that
screws in the
tray,
way.
how that lock goes, the lock mechanism works again. What is it? Hook under or what?
Yeah, it's just
The T you took out.
all it is just
Oh, okay, I
carbon
see.
fiber and some slots,
Very neat.
and just get it in there, slide it
Goes
in,
in,
and you
slides
just tighten it up.
Very neat. Very
So,
neat.
Again, I stole that idea from Tim Just. So,
You California cats are getting some cool stuff going.
so
That is
But
very
yeah,
neat.
I'd come back out there and steal some more ideas, but it's too darn expensive right now.
and then see what else is on here that is kind of different. Oh, I did this. Joe Daly had a little article in his article he had in Tampa, I believe it was, Stunt News, where he built his crutch basically, and then he installs that into the fuselage. This was done the same way. Basically, all it was 3/32 balsa for the sides for the crutch. So battery, everything I can mock up and put it together, and then you just slap it in between the sides, drop it in there, and go. So it worked out really, really well.
Oh, I like that idea.
I like that too. That's neat.
So you built that first, then you put the sides around it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how did you hog out the hardwood there? Those cutouts.
This is basswood, and then I took my Dremel tool
Yeah.
with the sanding drum and just went right between the bolts.
Nice.
And, so it makes it nice and neat. Makes it a little bit lighter.
Dennis, I think you're a little too bright for this group.
No. I'm a good what do you call that? Plagiarizer.
Oh, okay.
I steal everything. Yeah. Nothing's original here.
Very nice.
That is very good.
That
And so
is
your
very nice.
engine, you have access to your engine, you said, or motor, I should say, pardon me.
Two screws.
A screw on each side, and this cowl comes off.
Nice.
Take the spinner off,
nice.
pop
Very
everything,
nice.
and then all access to the motor. And then I can
Very
adjust
nice.
the offset, or if I need some negative or positive incidents, I can do that off the motor.
Dennis,
Now
is
you-
that motor rear mounted?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I'm using I can't remember the gentleman's name from Innovative. Lucian, I think it is.
Yeah, Lucian Miller.
Yeah, Lucian.
Yeah. He has a nice little device that goes on the front end for the prop adapter that bolts to the motor, to the armature of the motor.
Yes.
It
that's
is
great.
really, really slick. It really
Yep.
is. Paul goes through and he has him reverse the armature on the shaft.
Right.
And with this, you don't have to do that. It's just a stock motor with a stock shaft, and you get this adapter that bolts on, and it's nice and solid and makes for a nice clean mount for your prop and everything. I really like it. And then you just use the standard X brace in the back, motor mount in the back.
Yep.
Now, are you using a pusher or a tractor prop?
Tractor. I use tractor. Igor prop. The 12 was it 12? What was it? 12 by 12.5 narrow blade flat back prop, which you can't get right now. I have a couple. on
Yeah, I've
order.
noticed.
So I keep asking him. He said, anytime. So hopefully we'll get some here.
Very nice.
But anyway, that's it. Everything's removable. Tail wheel removable, flaps and elevators will be removable when done. But it's not a take apart. So
I like this body style. I like this body. It looks really nice, Dennis.
well, thank you. So it's I got inspired by the Douglas Sky Raider, you know, and the front end of this here. And the
Yeah.
rest of it, it was just in fact, when I first built it, the top shell was straight all the way across, and it looked huge in the back. And so I ended up cutting it in half almost to drop it down, make it so it tapers towards the back. So get some of that weight off the tail too. So
So the bottom of the fuselage is also round. There's no flat spots. It's not flat anywhere.
Well, it's flat on the sides, but it's round on the top and bottom.
Nice.
Hey, Dennis, is the wing and tail on the thrust line?
Yes, it is.
Very nice.
All in line. That's gonna be nice.
And the controls are hooked up. So that's all ready
Very
to
nice.
go.
Dennis, you should be able to do fantastic landings and takeoffs with cockpit visibility like that.
As long as little Howie can see, yeah, he'll be okay. But me, I'm in trouble.
Well, you always can blame it on Howie, I guess.
Yeah, how you'll get blame.
If he bounces a landing, it's Howie's fault.
I was hoping to get this ready for the Nats, but I won't be going to this year's Nats.
Oh no!
It's my wife and I's 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh wow! Well,
So,
that's
Congratulations.
And I couldn't convince her to go spend a week in Muncie, Indiana in the summertime.
You
She
told
just
her it
wouldn't
was.
go for it.
You told her it was Papa's 50th anniversary too, right?
Oh yes, definitely. She goes, huh?
And this affects me how? Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. So I won't be there this year. But
Could always give her
hopefully
the
year after I
plane.
will be.
Could always give her the plane as an anniversary present.
Oh yeah, that'll go over big.
He hasn't been married for 50 years without knowing a thing or two about his wife.
Oh, I knew better than not even to ask. And believe me, it came across my mind. Do I ask her? Can I go to the Nats on our anniversary? I was struck stupid and I got reasonable again. So
Hey, that's smart. Yeah. Hey, no, we all don't blame you for making the right choice.
Hey, Dennis, why don't you tell her you're taking her to Hawaii, but get on a plane to Indianapolis?
Yeah, she knows geography better than I do. So I don't think I can fool her.
That's a good decision.
There's no palm trees in Indianapolis. So
flying
I thought there was one. I thought there
ain't
was
no big
one
lake
by
in
the Comfort
between
Inn.
either.
Just come in during the night.
Yeah, there we go. Sneak on in.
the refueling stop.
I think driving from Indy to Muncie, though, all the soybeans and the corn might give it away.
Might, just might.
Will, yes.
Hey, I don't mean to belabor the point, but I like the lead out, those things you have on the lead out wires. Are those from Jim Lee?
No, those are Bob Hunt.
Bob Hunt. Okay, very nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Very nice.
So nothing magical about it. It's pretty straightforward. Simple wing construction, just a C tube using a lost foam jig from Bob Hunt. So, but that's it.
Very nice, man.
That is very nice.
I can't wait to see this plane when it's all done. I'm sure it's going to kick some serious tail.
Well, in fact, last Wednesday, Jim, Aaron, and I got together and we have the graphics done. So we printed them out just to see how things were going to fit up. And so just with the color paper that we were, I should say color printout that we had taping it to the side of the fuselage and the wing, boy, it looked nice. And that's what really got me inspired to keep going. Gave me another shot of juice, as it were.
I bet.
To keep working on it.
I bet. Very good, man. I can't wait yet. And whenever you want to show improvement, that'd be fine. Please share with us your progress.
No, we'll do. We'll do.
Fantastic.
That's
Well,
pretty. That is really nice.
thank you, Dennis. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And let me welcome Cha-Cha from Trinidad. Cha-Cha, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing? How's everybody?
Doing well. And I know you had a birthday last week or something.
Yes, I did.
Right.
Happy
Well,
birthday,
happy
belated
belated
birthday.
I turned 60.
You turned what?
60.
Yeah.
Really? You don't look
Yeah.
it at all.
Thank
No,
you.
we don't. I was gonna say 40. I was gonna say youngin. And he's 60, darn.
Yeah. Just playing with you guys.
Is that 60 metric?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're really only about
Yeah.
40.
I turned 39.
39. Okay.
39. Well, I was close.
Trying to make
You
us
look
all
good.
feel bad, like we're looking old. Man, that was
It ain't the
evil.
looking that bothers me, it's the feeling. Golly.
Well, what do
So,
they say? Getting old is easy. Staying old is hard.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Hey,
Ain't
Cha-Cha,
that the truth?
don't
Yes.
rush to be 61, because if you look at the picture of Len, that's what happens.
Oh my.
See
I'll take
that?
your advice.
Hey,
I'll take your advice.
Oh,
Wow.
oh, everybody's picking up poor old Lynn.
Or that's when he's asleep. Wake up, Len. We're beating up on you.
he's
He's
gone.
probably sleeping on himself.
So,
Yeah.
Chacha, I've seen some things you shared with me, but it was mostly someone else flying. Have you been doing flying?
Yes, well one of the guys from remember I started a program, a Build and Fight program with some college kids, right?
Right.
So the president of the aviation club in one of the colleges in Trinidad, he did his solo on the P40, and he is doing wingovers at present
Nice.
and ready to move on to loops, So I did some flying with him. I did some flying with myself. We have a lot of wind right now. We call this Easter period kite flying season.
Mhm.
So a lot of kites out. So I carried my kite to the savannah today to show them what a real kite looks like. And it drew a nice crowd. And luckily I got about 2 members to join our club. So
Very good.
that's a positive.
Yes. Keep growing.
Yes.
Let me ask Caffeine. Caffeine, have you been doing any flying or building? What you been up to, Caffeine?
Yeah, I did. Well, actually, I have some videos and photos to share.
Okay.
Well,
all right. Are you set up? Am I ready to share?
Yep. Please wait a moment.
All right.
Okay, let's see. So last week I was looking for a new flying field because my regular flying field was being was being used by the military because it is located in a military property. So they had some celebration, so we couldn't fly on last week, and so I went to the camping ground. There's a club there, but unfortunately when I got there, they are closed. They were closed. So my flying buddy and I were looking for another empty field at the camping ground, which we have found so many empty fields. So we just flew there, and then yeah, it's a new field for me, and the grass is really good. It's sharp. Yeah, let me just share it. Can you see it now?
It's starting
Oh,
up, I guess.
Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, let me. Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Is that your son? Is that your son there?
yes,
Wow.
he's the one who gave me the permission to fly.
Very good. He looks good.
Yeah, I brought two planes on last weekend, my Banshee and my Cardinal.
Right.
And yeah, he is my flying buddy who just returned to this hobby after I guess 30 years or 40 years of hiatus. He brought his Cardinal, and this is the field that I talk about.
Nice. That looks good.
Yeah,
except for all those trees.
Yep.
Beggars can't be choosy.
Uh-huh. And it was my first time flying here, and I got a bit disoriented because
Yes.
it's actually it's not really white, so I was feeling like is it white enough, or is it good space, or will I hit the trees or something? So yeah, I didn't really feel
I
really.
understand. That's uncomfortable to be kind of claustrophobic or to
Yep.
feel really constricted. Yeah, I
Yes.
understand. That's no fun.
Yes, and I used to fly with really wide open space without this the trees the trees are high on this field. So I got when I did some wing over and then some inverted flight, I got really disoriented pretty quickly because all I saw was just the same,
Yeah, and your Banshee would get lost in the trees, right?
Yeah. So yeah, but
Yeah,
it was a really nice field for flying because of the grass, but it was kind of hard ground because his Cardinal when like instant dive after the engine died, so and it was like this, and it hits the spinner first, and at first we thought, oh, it's just the spinner, but when we look closely, he actually uh you know the the there's a big crack on the wing.
Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah, it was really hard ground. So yeah, this is some photos I I took. Well, I didn't fly the Cardinal because the engine mounting bolt was loose. I still haven't. So yeah, it turns out to be I haven't figured out uh the bolt problem on this Cardinal, on this engine. So yeah.
So do the blind nuts come loose as well, or just the screws come loose?
Well, I don't know if the blind nuts come loose or not because it's inside the nose cone. So I'm just gonna make hole and just replace the blind nuts, and yeah, because just to make sure
Right.
everything is tight. I just wanna do like this on my benchy. Just yeah, I think I'm just going to have it like this, so
Right.
it's more tight and firm.
All right.
So yeah, this is how after I was having a much problem with the line twisting, I kind of modified
Yeah.
how I drill the lines.
Right. That looks good.
Yeah. So it previously on this Sullivan reel, I had to bend very sharp at this opening, so
Right.
I'm moving the position, so it's kind of circling when I
Right.
roll up the lines. And yeah, this is how I clip the end of the lines. Unfortunately, the line, it is a new line, but uneven length of line. So I've bought three Sullivan ready-made lines, but all of them
Yeah.
always had these uneven lines.
Yeah, they
like,
do. That's yeah, commercial. I don't know of anybody except for maybe Brodak, maybe RSM, but Sullivan lines, they're always uneven. They never, shouldn't say never, but more cases than not, commercial available lines, they're not even. That's why I make my own. Hang on, Charity, hang on.
So well, I was wondering if making like an offset like this offset is the brass offset is from the handle. I got but I had to put another line clips to
Wow, yeah, that's
offset it. Is it a safe way to do this, or you don't think so?
I mean, it's probably safe. I just don't like it. What do you guys think? Dennis, wake up. You see this? Yeah, you're muted, Dennis. And how about our pamper president? What do you think, Mark Wise?
Well, I'm not crazy about it. It looks like it, I've seen planes go in because the clips bind against each other and they don't release fully. And it looks like where those two clips connect, it looks like there's a U in the wire there in one of them. I just don't know if that can get caught on itself.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. Okay, so.
Isn't there something in the AMA rule book that you can only have like one connector?
I'm not aware of that. It may be.
We actually went looking for that here a while back, and nobody could find that a reference to that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think I've seen some discussion about it, but yeah, I'm not really I don't do competition here, so just,
right. I understand. Yeah, I would just make one long connector.
Yeah,
I mean, if you go to Jim Lee, he sells a clip bending tool, and you want to get the Howard Rush version.
Okay.
And you can I make my own line clips, and I use the Howard Rush version of the tool that Jim Lee makes.
Okay, so well,
What's the difference?
You can do increments of 1/16 with the Howard Rush system, and I think the standard is a little bit more than that, or maybe you can do 1/16 with the standard and then 1/32.
Oh, he's got the 2-pin. Yeah. He sells
one on
both
either
ways. He
side.
sells it both ways.
Yeah.
But just save your money and buy the Howard Rush version.
Okay, so this is another idea after flying that came to my mind. I've got several like adjuster, line adjust, clip adjuster like this, and I was wondering if I tight bolt it and make it longer,
Take a
could
look at
be
this.
another solution.
I'd be cutting the ends off the lines.
Kathleen,
Need again.
take
Yeah.
a look.
Rewrap them.
You might want to take a look at this. See this one?
Yep.
These are all adjustable. I can take these off and add them on to here.
Yeah, that's well. Unfortunately,
What you've done.
the
But these are all different sizes that have been made up that came with
Yep.
the line. So it's kind of what you're doing.
Yep.
They're just single pieces, which might be better than having. It looks like you got one bolted together. You might have a bit of I don't know if you used it, it might be fine, but I wouldn't want to see it swivel at that one point where you got the two attached together. I don't know. Hard to say, but
I
you
think
could make a bunch of different ones like this where they're all just different sizes. So and then you can change it for whatever size you need. So just out
I
of
think
browse.
the double clip would get a little better too if you could put either some shrink wrap tubing or even a piece of tape over the two clips where they come together. That would make it, that would prevent them from like doubling up on each other and stuff like that. It would, they behave like one long clip that way.
Yeah. Okay, Caffeine?
Yep.
Is that handle originally a cable handle that goes through the handle?
No, it's a hard point handle.
Oh, it
where-
is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it looks like the Rayco.
That's
Yes,
what I was thinking.
it is the
Yeah.
Rayco.
Mm-hmm.
They provide us with the line adjuster, the offset adjuster, but the difference with on the lines is exceed the connectors that I've been given from the Rayco, so I still need to add some more. It was 2-inch different on the lines.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bunch.
And that's inexcusable. I mean, it's so easy to make them closer than that. I mean, I make mine pretty much nuts on every time. And it took me a while to get to that point, but a bad set
Can
of
be
lines
done.
for me is maybe an 1/8 inch variance. That'd be like the worst lines I've ever made. Between the two different lengths.
Caffeine, have you already set up the lead outs in that airplane that handle is going to be attached to?
Was that again, Mark? Sorry.
Are the lead outs for the airplane you're going to fly with that handle already completed?
Yeah, the lead out is already completed, and it's.
I was just thinking you could have different length lead outs and compensate for the lines.
That's a good idea, Mark.
It is.
Yeah.
Good idea. Guys, I'll see you Friday.
All right,
Everybody have a great week.
Matter of fact, we're at the top of the hour, so I'm going to be ending the live stream pretty shortly. Caffeine, I think Oki Air makes lines. I know that Tom Morris did. I think he sold his business to Oki Air.
Yeah. Okay.
And those lines come out, great.
Okay. Caffeine, were those the Spectra lines that you were going to make?
No, it's still the stainless steel lines.
The steel, okay.
Well, can I show you the video right now?
Yeah,
sure.
Hey, Caffeine,
Yes.
you gotta watch. You have to watch that handle you have with that little arm on there. Samantha lost an airplane. That arm will, if you fly and you lose line tension, that arm will kick back, and the clip will catch.
Yeah.
Put her airplane into full up at Brodak.
Yeah.
Lost an airplane at Brodak. Yeah, because of it. You gotta have something so it can't get back and get sideways and stuck in there.
It's right here.
Yep.
You put a bolt above and below, then it won't kick up so far.
Oh, okay.
That happened on me where it twisted right around on me, and it was like a little awkward trying to fly. So
yes, Samantha.
I had the bolt top and bottom, so it'll prevent that. But I
Oh,
had
okay.
that come around on me too, so you got to watch it. So like it came
Yeah.
right.
Interesting.
Yeah, so be
Interesting.
careful. It's a nice deal, but we quit using that handle. They said to put some fuel tubing over it so it can't go as far or whatever. But yeah, so we got rid of the handle.
All
And
right,
what
go
I
ahead.
did was-
Go ahead, Caffeine, and then we're going to end the live stream. We're not going to end the show, but just a live stream after your video. And you're muted, by the way, Caffeine.
Yeah. I will share you some videos. I will also share you the video of my flying buddy flying his cardinal and his landing.
Okay.
The first one is this is when he land his cardinal.
Oh boy! Oh, no wonder he just. Oh, he had no line tension. Got loose on him.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's too bad.
Do you think it's because nose heavy or?
I don't know why he lost line tension.
Yeah, he was too far up in the air. When that motor quits, you want to get it down level. You don't want to be up at a 45. It'll slide in at you.
Yeah, it looks like he ballooned it.
Yeah, but look how high he is. I mean, you want to.
Yeah, and he had a lot of up elevator. It looked like he stalled.
Yeah.
Keep the airspeed up when the motor quits. Keep the nose down.
Yeah.
And keep the airspeed up and until you get close to the ground.
Yeah. And another video.
Caffeine.
Yes.
That pink room over in the background there would make a good club room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, clubhouse.
This is his flying, my flying buddy flying his cardinal.
All right.
Like
So-
a slow lap time.
So his handle is the cable on his handle is uneven, so it's giving up.
That's about a 6-second lap time. That's way too slow.
Yeah, when he was flying it, his handle is kind of up. You know.
Yeah, that happens.
The natural is up. So
right.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons that he didn't have much control when the airplane quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Yes, Steve.
Because
I got a question for Cha-Cha.
What's that?
I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
It's okay to call you by your last name. I would, when I grew up, I could never do that unless I put Mr. in front of it.
Everybody calls me by my last name.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that was okay.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
Everybody calls me that.
All right.
My cardinal quits at 45 with no issue. And that I will glide us straight down to the ground.
Yeah, I can land most of my planes anywhere.
Yeah,
As,
but I mean,
just mentioned it.
His had quit before that though. Once it quits, you got to let it. You can't try to hold it up there at 45.
Well, the concept I use is a flying concept, right? Power controls at altitude and pitch controls airspeed. So if I quit at 45, I need to put some down incidents to keep the airspeed up.
Right. Exactly.
So that the plane don't just float and want to stall.
Yeah.
I could study about level and not closer to the ground and stuff like that. So
yep. That's what they
Alrighty.
teach you when you fly a real airplane.
Yes, correct.
Oh, Caffeine, you have a phone call, Caffeine? Yes, that's okay. Take your phone call, Caffeine. Yes, Jonathan?
I was just going to ask if Kevin's got any video of him flying.
You have a
You
video
might
of you
have time.
flying? You have a video
may
of
not
you,
have time.
Caffeine?
Yep, yep. Let me share my last video of this is hello. This is a video of my flying. Can you see it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
Excellent, very good.
Oh,
Very
very nice,
good.
Caffeine.
I must salute you, Kevin. You've come a long way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're doing good, Caffeine. Doing good.
Not only in your flying, but in your building as well.
You fly some fast laps, Caffeine.
Yep.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, I clocked you at 4.77 lap time.
Yeah,
Pretty fast. But if you're comfortable, that's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were about 4.5, but from the guess of watching it, but
What do you want to do next, Kevin?
What's that?
What maneuver do you want to refine next?
Wait.
I don't think you'll have any trouble.
Very
Excellent.
nice. Very nice.
That's-
Biggest improvement.
yeah, and you're ahead of the air. You're setting your feet. You're setting your feet and getting ready for the maneuver. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's my flying. I was using my flying body lines and handle because I didn't have anything to fix the line difference, the length difference. So it took it will take some more time to fix it on the field if I insist to use my flying flying handle and line. So I just give it a go, and I just realized it's his handle neutral is kind of up. So but yeah, it's still okay.
Well, let me end the live stream. And before I do that, in the chat box, Tony San Benedetto, if you're still here, the way you get into the show is through Stunthangar Forum. And you need to register if you're not a Stunthangar Forum member. So you go to stunthangar.com/SMF, that's Smart Men Flying, and go there and you register using your real first and last name and put a space between your real and first last name, and you must provide a real email address. And then Sparky, who's the proprietor of Stunthangar, he will approve you or not approve you. But if you put a space between your name and it's a real email address, most likely will approve you. And Sparky's at home making a shop and doing all kinds of stuff, so he will get to you. But that's how you get into to our Zoom meeting. The link is posted inside Stunthangar, and it's at a section called At the Bench. But the At the Bench will not appear if you're not logged into Stunthangar. And to be logged in, you need to be a member. So that's how it goes. Unless I know you, I could help you out, but I don't know you, unfortunately. And Brent Williams, he went on to say, hey, get a line clip bender from Jim Lee. Stacking the line clips is a bad practice. Yeah. And that completes our chat for this day. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Well, Mondays are on par with any Friday nights, that's for sure. I think we had as many as 15 people in here, maybe a little bit more. And it looks like our audience was at least around almost 30 people in our audience. That's just during the live stream. Of course, it gets replayed over and over again, and the views go up, to several hundred. So anyways, thank you very much for coming in. We had a great show. Thank you for all the show and tells. We will hopefully get back together Friday. Hopefully have a chance to do some flying or do some work in the shop and come back and tell us all about it. Until then, fair winds, tight lines,